In Power Apps, there's something called a context variable, and then there's a global variable. The difference between the two is the scope of what you can use the variable in. What I mean by that is this. Let's say you have a living room television set. The context of what you could use that living room television set in is in the living room only. Whereas the screen on my cell phone is like a global variable in that I can use this screen anywhere. Same applies here inside of your Power application. A context variable can only be used on the screen that you have it set on, whereas a global variable can be used anywhere inside of your application. The way that you set up a global variable is by using this function right here. It's set, and then you put the parentheses, you put the variable name, use a comma, and then you put the value that you want the variable to be. Whereas with a context variable, you use the function UpdateContext. Important for the syntax, it has to be inside of curly brackets. So you put curly bracket open, the variable name, and then you put a full colon as the separator, and then the value that you want the variable to be. A little tip to avoid confusion, because you will get confused as you build these apps out, is to prefix your global variables with something and prefix your context variables with something. I use the following. I put a single underscore in front of any global variables that I'm using, and I put 2 underscores in front of the variable name of any context variable that I create. All right, we're also going to talk about 2 different data types, number and text, and we're going to talk about how to convert between the two. Okay, I have this little form right over here that is connected to a SharePoint list that has the following columns. We have the title column, a number column, which is the data type number, and then a text column, which is the data type text. Keep in mind, whenever you're designing your applications, whenever you're designing your database, your Microsoft list, whatever you happen to be using, to set the appropriate data type for that column. So if you have something whose value is only ever going to be a number, like say the quantity of an item, make sure that you set that column to be a number. It's just going to cut down on the work that you have to do. I will show you here. I'm going to edit this. Watch this. This number column, I can't put plain text inside of the number column. Only numbers are able to work there. See? Okay. Whereas inside of a text column, I can put whatever I want, because numbers are also text. That's just how it works. There we go. Okay. Exit out of there. Let's go back over to the application. All right. Let's use some functions here. So I have this function already set up, and it's setting the global variable that I've called text, very easy little name, to the value, global text value. All right, I'm going to daisy chain this by using the semicolon like so. I'm going to put another set command inside of here, and I'm going to name another one, and I'm going to call it number with a single underscore in the front, and I'm going to set it to 1, 2, 3. There we go. And over here, I am going to update this to show the value of number. As you can see right now, it is nothing. I'm going to press Alt and then click that, and boom, there it goes. So number is now set to 1, 2, 3. All right, I have my context variables that are set right over here, and I've got it set up to text with 2 underscores, set up to that value, number with 2 underscores, set up to this value. Okay. So with these different data types, you can do different things. Like you can perform math on anything that is a data type of a number. So I have got up right here. I'm going to change this button to do a little bit of math for us. And I want to set the context variable called underscore underscore number to increment by 1. So we'll do the following. Update context and open curly bracket. We're going to name the context, so it's already got it in there for us, number. And I am going to take the original value of number, our variable, and I am going to increment it by 1. Close curly bracket, do that, and then we'll press play, and watch this right here. It's going to increase it. Boom. Okay, I've already got this one set up to down, by the way. I did that earlier without you guys looking at me. Okay. Now, let me show you about the context variables versus the global variables. So I'm going to move to a different screen called screen 2 where I have these same labels already set up. Here we are on the second screen. And right here, as you can see, I have got my global variables already referenced and it's showing it. Whereas on this label right here, I'm trying to reference the context variables, but it's saying that this isn't valid because there's nothing called the variable name text on this screen to view because context variables are only used per screen. Okay, I've got this button down here that's already got our code in there, and I am going to update this. All right, so I'm going to set the context variable called text to the word something. Okay, that is set to something on this screen. If I go back to screen 1, the context variable, as you can see, is still set to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you can use different values for a context variable on different screens at the same time. That's why you have a context variable. All right, let's talk about converting text to numbers and when you might need to do that. Okay, so I have got this guy right here that is that's a form that is set up to my SharePoint list, and I am going to take this and let's just use number. As you can see, it's going to allow me to put this number in there. But watch what happens if I try to use the global variable that is set to text. What does it say? Let's hover over it. Global text value, that's the value of our variable text, cannot be converted to a number. So that can't be used. I can convert this to a number by using the function called value. But an important disclaimer about using the function called value. You cannot convert a word to a number. But you can, however, convert text numbers over to regular numbers. So like I'm going to change the variable text over to 1, 2, 3, and we'll set it. Boom, there it goes. Now it's 1, 2, 3. All right, you can take a number variable and you can convert it to text pretty easily just by using the text function. So we'll transfer a number over to text, and as you can see, it just works. That's how it works. All right. You can continue on and like do more math with all of this stuff, by the way. So you can do like minus and then minus number plus 55 times 2. Like, yeah. Anyway, I hope that this helped out somebody. Just let me know in the comments if you have any questions about this.